In this video, I want to go over a couple of neat little add-ons that I have discovered for Google Docs. So I'm going up here to the add-ons menu. You guys know that in order to get add-ons for Google Docs, you just click on this Get Add-ons menu item and then follow the instructions. It's really easy to add them to Google Docs. But the first one I'm going to show you is this GMath add-on. So I'm going to go to that. I'm going to choose Create Math Expressions. And this is a neat little tool that lets you insert a number of different math symbols in your document right here in Google Docs. You don't have to go to a separate program for that anymore, and there's a lot of neat things associated with this app. So when I chose that, it brought up this little menu over here on the right, and I'm on the Simple tab. I admit that I haven't played around a whole lot with the advanced functionality because I don't have a use for it. However, it looks like it's very powerful, and it looks like there's some really neat things you can do with the higher level expressions. But for today, I just want to show you what you can do with the Simple tab. So if you go down here to the bottom and click on Math Writing Tips, it gives you these tiny little animated tutorials that show you how to insert your expressions into your document. So each one has its own associated just a couple of keystrokes that you would use in order to type. And so you can see that I'm working on a square roots quiz. And so what I want to do right now is I want to find that symbol. So I'm clicking these little arrow buttons here, and you can see that this says square root symbol, and so underneath that it says type backslash SQRT and then tab. So I'm going to go up here to this little box, and I'll go ahead and do that. So backslash SQRT and then press the tab key on my keyboard, and voila, I have a little square root symbol. So I'll go ahead and type in a number there, and all I have to do to insert it into my document, right where my cursor is just to click on this little left arrow thing there, and then it'll insert it into my document. So really cool, really powerful. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of other symbols that you can use just in the simple mode. You sum and subscript. You can do exponents, fractions, and these are things that in the past have been kind of challenging to try to do in Google Docs, but now just by adding on this little add-on, you can do that fairly easily. So I chose this because I do occasionally have the need to do this just in doing maybe flashcards or handouts or anything like that for students to help them practice their math. And obviously I think it would have a lot of applications for any math teacher, really from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade and beyond. So I think you will probably enjoy it as much as I have. It's just kind of neat now that I don't have to go to a separate program to do that. All right, so that is GMath. So I'm going to close this out now, and I'm going to demonstrate a different one now. I'm going to go to this other tab, this How to Get Free Books document that I've been working on, and I find pretty frequently that I have the need to insert just a little graphic, maybe a little icon type picture, a little symbol, something like that, just to kind of break up the text. You could see that I've tried to do that in this document, but so I may put the Scholastic logo right here later, but I'm thinking, okay, so maybe it would be good to put a little picture of a book right here underneath this free friends and family thing. So any graphic that you can find that you have the rights to use, you can insert, but I find that sometimes it can take a fair amount of time just searching through the web trying to find something. But no longer, through this little Drawio diagrams add-on, there are some neat things you can do. So this add-on works in conjunction with the Google Chrome app. So what you need to do first is you need to go and install this Drawio Diagrams app. So I've already done that, so that's why you're seeing it in this list of all my other apps here. So I'm going to click that, and then it brings up this screen where I can go in and create from. So I'll go ahead and choose new there, and I want to show you real quick. There's a lot of neat things you can do. There are a lot of pre-set up templates and files here that you can use, and I'll just go ahead and say a lot of these I think are really good for education. A lot of flow charts. You could do obviously you could do graphs, charts, anything like that. It's really useful. Probably wouldn't need this engineering stuff as much, but flowcharts definitely, and there's some mind mapping documents that you can use. Graphic organizers, huge for that, for really any academic subject. Very useful there. Just a subset of Venn diagrams, which of course is useful to compare and contrast. But for now, I'm just going to choose the basic and just open up a blank diagram. So I'll click this Create button. And then it brings up this window where I can go in, and over here on the left you can see there's a bunch of just kind of preset graphics here that I can use for I can just go ahead and drop in a triangle or a rectangle, ellipse, oval, trapezoid. So that obviously would be real useful if you were putting together anything for geometry. And then there's some others here that some good basic shapes for maybe the kindergarten kids. Real useful. But I'm thinking, I just want a picture of a book. So wondering where I might find something like that. And so over here in this communications subset here, you can see there's a whole bunch of little diagrams that are good for just, for the business use really, but you could use these in the classroom too. And just going to keep looking here, and lo and behold, there's a little book. So I'm going to click on that, and it just drops it into your document, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key while I drag down to keep it in its proper proportions. And then I'm thinking, well, because over here I'm using green as kind of a main color for this document, I'm thinking that the book might look good in green too. So I'm going to go up here and choose green as the color, and there I have a green book. So, and that's all I wanted for this. Obviously you could see that there's, for just a whole bunch of little preset graphics. You could combine graphics to put something together, and you saw when I opened up the document all the different things you could do with the flowcharts and the graphic organizers and such. So it's a very very handy little add-on. So and again, there's just a ton of stuff that's preloaded in here that would make it really easy for you to do all kinds of different things. Great for science, even good for PE or all kinds of stuff. So very handy. So now let's get this back into my document. So I'm going to go ahead and change the name of this to, I'll just call it Green Book. And we'll rename it. And so I'm going to go back to my document, and now I'm going to choose Drawio Diagrams from the drop-down. I'm going to choose Insert Diagrams, and it's going to bring up It's going to bring up the folders, which are the basic folders in my Google Drive. So it goes there first. And because this is stored in my root level, it is sitting right there with all the main folders. So there's my file. So I click that, click select, and I want it on page 1. So I'll insert it there. And it inserts it where my cursor was, which is exactly what I wanted. So now Google Docs treats that just as an imported graphic or picture. So you can go in and you can, since I've selected it, I'm going to wrap the text around, and I'm going to change the margin, give it a little more space there, and it's that simple. So it's just it's something that I think would be very useful for anybody who's working in Google Docs, basically, but especially teachers who don't have a whole lot of time to create a little bank of graphics. This stuff is already there. It's already set up. And again, I haven't played a whole lot with some of those preset templates, but they look like they would be very useful and very powerful. You saw the KWL chart and the Venn diagrams and stuff. So that's what those are those 2 add-ons. And I hope you find this useful. Thanks for watching.